Hello, friends, and welcome back to the new episode of r/IDontWorkHereLady. Today we have another set of great news stories, and let's start with a little warm-up story. Oh, those Russians. My coworker, who shall be known as John, loves to tell this story when the room needs a laugh. I figured you all would love to hear it. Names are fake and all that. So we work in restaurant tech support. On yet another routine call, John needs access to one of the terminals in the front of the store to fix whatever the problem is. We have the ability to lock out all input and video on those terminals, which replaces the entire screen with a heavily pixelated image of a pyramid, the logo of the software we use. This has caused many bits of confusion in the past and will many times more in the future. John informs the store owner, who's safely in the office away from the evil pyramid, "Hey, if one of your employees comes in complaining about an eyeball or some blue pyramid thing, that's me." Not one moment later, a man runs into the office out of breath and stammers, "Boss, sir, the Russians are hacking us." The boss scoffs, Jim boy, I'm on the phone with John from the help desk." The boss then puts John on speaker. "Now, Mr. John, would you happen to be a Russian hacker?" John responds with the only acceptable response, "No, sir," in a decent Russian accent. The boss's laughter could be heard throughout our office. "The Russians are coming!" And our second story. My taxes pay your salary. No, they do not. This happened 3 years ago, but my friend reminded me of it yesterday, so I thought I'd share. It was the middle of June and my first weekend off in quite some time. I'd been giving my friend a never-ending rain check of promising to teach her to fish. Our schedules finally line up, weather's perfect, it's fishing time. We arrive at a local lake. It's the type where you don't need a fishing license just to pass for the lake. Money goes to the city. We buy our passes from the concession stand and head back to the car to get the gear. I brought 3 setups, one for me, one for my friend, and one just in case. It's a really busy Saturday morning, lots of people. We do a mini hike across the lake to get to our spot and get to fishing. Friend learns quickly, we catch a few before the sun's all the way up. We're pumped at how well the day's going and decide to take a lunch break when it starts to get hot. At about 11, we take the stuff back to my car, we chill/eat/hydrate and head back. While we're walking back, a group of kids break away from their families to follow us around. They were all boys, 4 of them. 3 of them maybe 8 to 11 years old and the 4th was maybe 6. I'm thinking they just want to watch us fish and they likely told their parents where they were going, so I don't even think about it. We get back to our spot, but the kids are trying to follow us down the hill. The top of the hill has a trail. If you're careful, you can climb down to reach a small landing that's close to the water's edge. It was stressing me out watching these kids try and climb down, so I yell up to them a safer place for them to watch. Basically next to us, but easier to get to, but there's a gap in between the landings. Once they got down, they decided to have a rock skipping contest. Not exactly polite to do next to people fishing, but I let it go. Then these kids decide to have a jumping contest. They're jumping from their landing to our landing back and forth. There's only a 2-foot gap, but if they fell, they definitely get hurt. My friend was getting more stressed than me watching them and makes them promise her to be careful. They said what I probably would have said at their age, "Fine, whatever." The ringleader of the group, maybe 11, then asked if they were allowed to fish. I asked them if they had a pass. Stupid me. They say yes in unison. I tell them if you've got a pass, you're good to go. Ringleader puts his hands on my fishing pole that I'm holding still and asks if he can use it. I pull away and say, "No, bud, I'm using it." He picks up my just-in-case pole without asking and says, "What about this one?" "Nope, that's mine. I don't want you hurting yourself with it." The little brat gives me attitude and shouts, "Well, what can I use?" I didn't even know what to say at first, but I pulled out Old Faithful, "Go ask your parents." It worked. They immediately left. About 20 minutes later, we hear a large group of people coming down the trail. It's the kids and their family. And the kids are whispering and pointing at me, mostly just ringleader. A female a bit older than me, I'm guessing mom, angrily makes her way over to the spot and lays into me. I don't remember everything, but the general consensus was that I was ungrateful and need to get shot, her words. Kids are still close, so I decide to keep it PG. I also have a little issue with my hearing. If something's too loud, I can't usually make out the sound. Like if you're yelling at me, I'm not going to get every word. I explain that I can't hear her when she raises her voice. She then starts yelling louder. I'm getting nothing. My friend is mortified. I stare at her until there's a break and say, yeah, I didn't get a word of that. She almost starts to go off again when the husband/boyfriend/older brother shouts something at her in another language and she stops. Angry lady. Did you tell these boys they couldn't fish? Me. No, I said just the opposite. She's stunned. Why can't they fish then? They're allowed to fish at this lake. They can fish. They're absolutely allowed to fish here. They just can't use my stuff. Why not? Everyone else is fishing. This lake is owned by the city. Yep, sure is. Blank stares for way too long. You need to teach them to fish. Miss, I can't watch all of them. What if they hurt themselves? Yes, you are. My taxes pay your salary. No, they do not. Yes, they do. I pay taxes and taxes pay for this lake. And they better not hurt themselves because if they do... You think I work here? More blank stares. Miss, I work at place I used to work, doing thing I did while I was there. Even more blank stares. I fix computers. I didn't, but it's easier to say than explain what I really did. Silence. This poor lady looks so embarrassed as it clicks that I'm just a person fishing on their day off. But I don't even get an apology. No recognition that she was wrong. She just climbs back over to the rest of the family as they quietly speak amongst themselves, walking away in shame. When they're finally out of sight, my friend and I give each other the what the F just happened look and break into the most beautiful 45-minute session of uncontrollable laughter I've ever had. Entitled Microwave Lady. A couple of years ago, I stopped at Lowe's to exchange my empty propane tank. I'd just finished securing the new one in my trunk when I heard a shout from across the parking lot. Excuse me, can you help? I looked up and saw the middle-aged woman having trouble getting a microwave that she just bought into her trunk. No problem. I went over and helped her. The microwave wasn't too heavy and it fit perfectly into her car. She thanked me, I nodded, and started to walk away. I was a few feet from her car when I heard her say, "Aren't you going to take my cart back up there?" I turned around and saw her pointing at her shopping cart. "Take my cart," she demanded, starting to get a little agitated. "Oh, you know I don't work here, right?" "Yes, I know, but you should still be a gentleman and take my cart." "No, I was helping you out with the microwave, but I'm not about to—" "Take my cart now," she yelled and pointed to the store. Okay, whatever. I didn't want to get into an argument in the middle of the Lowe's parking lot, so I sighed, walked back to her, and took her cart. I started to bring it back toward the store, but this didn't quite sit right with me. I was okay helping her with her microwave, but she was certainly capable of doing part of the job. If people always do this kind of thing for her, she'll never learn her lesson. I was about 10 feet away from her when I decided to stop pushing the cart back and waited for her to get into the car. As soon as she shut her door, I turned around, walked back to her parking spot, and left that shopping cart right behind her car so she couldn't leave without getting out and moving it herself. I hope that wonderful lady's having the best of luck with her microwave. But I am the CEO of this company. Hello, everyone. This is my story that happened when I first opened my company, an insurance agency. I opened my company when I was 24, but I was in the industry since 20. Not a lot of experience, but enough knowledge to open up my own business. I look a bit younger than my age due to the way I dress casually and baby face, I guess. Little background about my company. I'm an insurance broker that connects insurance companies with clients, and I get a commission if the insurance policy is sold. The wholesalers are the middleman that receives the quote request from me, and they submit it to the actual insurance companies, and they forward me the quote, and I show them to the client. And if I'm successful at selling, I get 10% and the wholesaler gets 5% of the insurance premium. Here's the cast. Me is obviously me. Could have been potential insurance carrier wholesaler whom I would submit to and get quotes and start insurance policy is C, and my friend who helps part-time is F. One day I was running late due to personal reasons, but my friend who was helping me part-time calls and says there's a potential insurance company wholesaler that was going to come in about 30 minutes. I rush over, but was dressed casually, t-shirt, skinny jeans, sneakers. I come in and my friend walks out to get some coffee and smoke a cigarette. A couple minutes after working, the wholesale company employee walks in. C. Hi, I'm from blah wholesale company. I'm here to meet Alex, which would be myself, but I'm not named Alex IRL. It was a hot day in the summer, so he was a bit sweaty. Me. Hey, how are you doing? Take a seat in the meeting room and we'll meet you shortly. C walks into the meeting room and takes a seat at one of the chairs. As I was waiting for my friend to come back, I hear C calling for me. Hey, can I get some iced coffee? I guess you guys don't offer any drinks, huh? Me. What is wrong with this dude? I mean, yeah, I could have offered a drink, but damn. Sorry, we only have water or hot coffee. It's hot outside. I can't drink something hot. Can you run downstairs and get me some iced coffee and keep the change? As he hands me a $5 bill. Excuse me? I'm not going to run downstairs and get you iced coffee. Get it yourself when you leave. Do you want water? It's pretty cold. My friend walks in and he was a bit more dressed up than I was, button-down shirt and khakis. Hi, he says. You must be from the wholesaler company. You must be Alex. It's a pleasure to meet you. Was asking your worker here to get me some iced coffee downstairs, but seems like he doesn't get it. Sorry, my friend says. I'm not Alex. He's Alex and points at me. Oh, he says. Seems like I didn't introduce myself. I'm Alex, and I think you can leave now. Get your coffee on the way out. And he left my office. My friend busted out laughing. The wholesale company was a good company, but there are others with potential that could have done the same thing. In the end, I got a call from the wholesale company asking if they could stop by again. I said no. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.